So you might be wondering, how did Ghost Trick Month ever end up? And I apologize, as you can tell, I'm a month behind with my content that I meant to upload, but it ended pretty well. Lots of wins, especially against decks that honestly I should have no reason beating. So, for example, what you just saw there, there's no way that I should be able to beat a Sword Soul deck with the Ghost Trick deck, especially that it's budget and it doesn't have all the best pieces. It's very interesting to me that there's times that this deck can surprise me. And so that's always fun when that can happen, where you end up in a situation where you're like, hey, this ended up working a whole lot better than I thought it actually would. So, looking at my first hand here, it's okay-ish, right? I did feel good about what I did have in my hand, especially that I have the Swords of Concealing Light. I think that can be difficult. The Barone is very effective here because it could stop it. But again, there's always that hope, can I get something out with it? Now, I was surprised that's the only play that my opponent had. So notice having the book is really good. So now, because I have the Swords of Concealing Lights, I got the bait outs, and that allows me to go off and running here. Now, he does use the Max C, but I was thankful that there was no other way for me to really go ahead and extend there. So that works out just fine. So there's the special summon. Monk comes out, uses the effect of the Tenyi card in the graveyard to go ahead and get out the other. I'm able to go ahead and use the effect here and get Genshi down. I love it when this happens, when people allow me to go ahead and activate the effect. It's such a great card in that way. Then they go for Shaman. They discard one. That's going to allow them to get out another card. And I thought it was going to lead to a Link 3, because then they would have the pop in the graveyard, but they don't. So that was a definite misplay on my opponent's side there. This allows me to go for Alucard, and now I'm going to use the effect to go ahead and get rid of the Barone. I knew that was going to be very effective for what I was trying to do. Now I go for Angel, use the effect of Angel, get rid of the Alucard. The Alucard's going to chain. That's going to go ahead and give me a resource back from the grave. Go ahead and use this now to get a special summon off. Use the effect to flip it face down. So I'm feeling very good about where I am, especially knowing my opponent only has 2 cards. And there was the surrender. Now, I'm not sure if they thought they had enough resources based on what that was, but I'm shocked I got the win. I didn't think that was going to happen. Now, the this tool here, very similar to what we've been seeing. I get cards face down with Museum, which is such an effective card. I am able to use my Banish effect, which I absolutely love. Go ahead and attack in with all these cards. It flips them down for me if I want them to. Go into Alucard, use the effect here, pop one of their resources. It's a Poly. That's a really good pop because you can use Polymerization to get your face down cards out of the way. Which really makes my deck start to struggle. Fusion decks, without a doubt, I think are Ghost Trick's most hardest decks to deal with for that reason. It's very difficult to have that work. I would have loved to have seen how that one would have finished. I didn't know if it was a rage quit or not, but sometimes that does happen. Now, definitely saw quite my fair share of different Dark Magician builds. And honestly, I feel like my deck shouldn't do as well as it does against Dark Magician. It's a little surprising to me how well I'm actually able to do against different Dark Magician builds. I thought that was a really good play there with the turtle card. Notice Doll's effect is super, super good when it works. And what's nice is I'm able to keep cards face down because I have the Link monster. And so everything working pretty well. Eternal Soul is a great card when you have everything clicking the way that you want it to. Notice I'm able to use Werewolf's effect there, get the Banish going on, and at this point, I'm just attacking in. I figure, I've got enough that I can do some real damage here. I mean, I'm definitely making my opponent pay. So notice that they're down to 800 here, And I really thought, you know what, I'm going to roll the dice. I'm curious if my opponent has anything. They're down to 10 cards. I think it would be very difficult for them to be able to pull anything off at that point. And notice there's the surrender. So I think my gamble definitely paid off in that situation. Now, Zombie World, that's interesting. This focuses on more of the red eyes. And, you know, I thought I was in really firm control of this duel. And it goes to show you have to be very cautious not to allow your opponent to get any kind of leeway. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a very big momentum-based game. If you don't have the proper momentum, boy, can things really start to fall apart, and they can fall apart quickly, which I think this duel does a really good job showcasing. And you're going to see what I mean here as we kind of start things off. So first of all, that's a really good opening hand. So if you don't know how that zombie card works, you discard one and you're able to special. And what's nice too is the card that he put, you're allowed to banish her, and then it directly sets Zombie World or allows you to actually add it to the hand. So right away I ended up going ahead and getting some burn in there with Claudrin. Go for my typical routine play that I do on a regular basis. The thing that hurts here though is Zombie World, it makes everything in the grave zombies. So that allows him to take my resources, which is really good. And then it just brings cards back. And so a really, really good card in that way. I'm able to use my card, go ahead and get Doll. And my thinking with Doll was I'll get special summons off, and it will flip his cards face down. So my turn here, and I get my counter. Go ahead and gain life points this time. I try to have a balance of that whenever I do this because I think it is very useful. And I picked up very quickly that he was getting resources out of my grave, and I did not want that to happen. So very cautiously, I decided I was going to start doing some things different. Parade is a great card, but I can't do any more burn with it. So no matter what, Claudrin is going to have to give me life points back if I'm going to use it properly. So go ahead and use that. I can't do any burn with my werewolf there, which really stinks. And I'm just trying to get cards face down at this point, building a wall that I think is going to be effective. Notice I go ahead and I book it, and then I go ahead and also chain here. Gets the summon off. That allows me to grab a card, which I'm fine with. I'm okay taking that damage, because like I said, I have Claudrin, and Claudrin is just so effective. I'm not worried about, you know, what I'm going to take with it. Now I have Museum, which is really good. So that's going to allow me to do burn if I want to. Now I do have to start special summoning here. I have to do that in order for things to properly start working. A good chain there, getting resources back, getting that trap back. I'm able to go into it again. Go ahead and get my burn here of 500, burn for 12. Go ahead and add Spectre. And this is really good. I love the banish effect that I got there. Get a card out. Go ahead and pop the face down so it's banished. Angel now, and I'm feeling really good because now that's also going to give me out cards effect, and I wanted to make sure he had spent the Zombie World effect there before I started using it. That's why I wanted to use the Book of Moon on that card, because I didn't want to lose resources and then have him take them, because that was now there's where I missed my chance. I should have, and I knew that play. I wanted to use one shot to special summon, and then that would have been the game, because I would have been able to attack without a card. I thought, oh shoot, I missed my opportunity. And look at this turn, because that happens. So notice I should have won the duel. The duel absolutely should have been over at this point, and now my opponent is going off. And so in this situation, I'm like, okay, this is not looking good for me. I definitely wanted to keep my Alucard out on the field, just because I didn't want to take a crazy amount of damage. I am able to get Spectre's effect off, which allows me to go ahead and special and then get a draw of 1. And notice how important it was that I kept that card on the field by using Vanish's effect. Notice he takes my card, which was the right decision. But look at that, I am way down here. If it wasn't for me having an empty space, that would have been the duel, guys. So again, it was that close to me losing in one turn because I had one misplay. And I think that just goes to show that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is such a heavy control-based kind of game, to where just one momentum swing and everything goes ahead and falls apart. So again, it's just interesting that, you know, I was able to win with a deck that has such powerful monsters like Barone. That should not be able to happen. Not with Ghostricks. Now, against that kind of deck that you're seeing there, yeah, Ghostricks can win that pretty easily. The final duel ended up being against Time Lords, and I've always wanted to see what that interaction would be like because it's not something that you typically see. And I love it when I have an opportunity to have a duel against a deck that it surprises me, because I love it when Yu-Gi-Oh! Is actually able to do that. So anyways, I don't know that's happening yet, so I just have my basic plays. There's nothing fancy here. In fact, I was very worried about getting OTK'd. And then I saw the normal summon of the Time Lord card, and I thought, oh, this is going to get really interesting. So the attack happens, so it automatically causes me to take damage, but because the Time Lord didn't do it, Museum doesn't go into effect. So I go ahead and use that to go ahead and gain life, because I was getting worried, what is this going to look like if he gets a powerful monster out there? And so notice he's actually able to use some really good cards here, gets two really powerful cards out. I'm able to chain and get Jack Frost there. I start with the new hand, and I'm feeling pretty good, because I'm thinking, I think I can compete with this. I'd like to see how it finishes. So I start again, and all it took was that, and this guy surrenders. And I'm like, no, I wanted to see how it would have finished. But that's how it goes sometimes. But overall, it's been really positive. I do have one more video to share with you guys, and I can't wait to show it to you. If you did like this video, I hope you hit that like button, and I hope you'll be a subscriber to the channel. Hey, thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.